guys, I've had so many of our colleagues and so many people who have this vision of relocating into the UK ask me questions about Dr. Unique. What is it like? What is the cost after securing a job? What will it really cost me to relocate into the UK? Hello, friends. My name is Dr. Unique. I'm a Nigerian trained medical doctor currently practicing in the UK. I make YouTube videos on general lifestyle, relocation journey, marriages, and all that. So if today is your very first day of coming across my channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, activate your notification bell so that you can always get my video. And if you're my return subscriber, just take this hug. That's for you. Thank you for always coming back. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, please, if you've been watching my videos but you haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe. So today, we'll be talking about cost. What does it really take to relocate into the UK when you have gotten a job? This is assuming that you've done your club and you've gotten a job. That if you're a doctor or you've done your nursing, your IELTS for the nurses, and you've done some processes of UK recognizing that you're a genuine nurse from Nigeria and you want to relocate. Okay, so now the cost of relocating into the UK depends on if you're coming alone. Oh, so sorry, my love. So sorry. So the cost depends on number one, if you're coming alone. Number two, if you're coming with family. Okay, so if you're coming alone, if you're coming with your family, is okay. And it also depends on if maybe the money you should have also depends on if your certificate of sponsorship maintenance was tick or it wasn't tick. So now, I would be talking about for those coming alone. And where the prices are a bit reduced for children, I will also talk about it. Then you will now need to do the mathematics by yourself. Okay. Now, when you've gotten a job offer, the job offer will give you a paper that is the most important document you need to apply for a visa, for a successful visa, and that is what we call COS, and that means certificate of sponsorship. Now, when you've gotten a job and your certificate of sponsorship has been issued to you, you have to confirm if maintenance was ticked or it wasn't ticked. If it wasn't ticked, what it means is that you will need a proof of fund in your bank account. You need some money in your bank account, about 1,000 something pounds, which is around 1 million to 2 million in your account, to prove that you can survive in the UK for the first 1 month. But if maintenance was ticked, you may not need to don't need any proof of fund or bank statement for that. Okay, other people that need proof of fund are students. If you're a student, you will need a proof of fund, okay, for you to be granted visa, because they know that for the first few months you'll be in the UK, you may not have gotten a job. So that's one of the place that the amount of money you need to really budget depends on. So now, what are the other things? There are other documents you require for you to apply for visa successfully, aside the certificate of sponsorship, and you need money to get them. Number one is the TB test. TB test currently, when I did mine, was about 54k. Now it was about 48k. Now I learned is about 54k, but in dollar it's $120 for someone greater than 11 years. Meaning, if you have other children less than 11 years, they will pay $60. That's half of the money. But if you have children above 11 years or your spouse and all of you will pay $120 per person for a TB test. You also have police certificate. During my own time, I did it with 10k. I learned now that the police certificate is on the high side. Someone even mentioned over 100k. I don't know how true that is. I tried to make my own inquiry, but because I haven't really done it recently, my spouse hasn't done it recently, I don't have the exact price. But you should also budget about 100k for your police certificate. Hopefully, it's going to get lesser. Now, remember that you also have to include your transportation, because TB test is only done TB test is only done in Lagos and in Abuja. So you have to include your transportation fee. If you want to fly, you have to put your flight ticket, which is about 50 to 70k, okay, for you and for each person. Now, if you want to use boxes and all that, or you want to drive, you have to put those costs into consideration. Police certificate, you can get it through phone. You can do the scanning. You just get any of the agent number. If you need any number of police agent, you can tell me. I will drop it for you. They can help you do it on phone. You don't need to travel anywhere. Or you can also go to the nearby police station in Lagos or Abuja and do it by yourself. Now, after that, the next thing, for those that are students, there's something that is called health surcharge. You pay health surcharge, okay? That's about £1,100. Okay, because when you come into the UK, your health insurance is not free, and you need to have health insurance so that when you have illness or something, you can be treated in the UK. Now, after that, the visa fee. During my own time, visa fee was $232. Currently, it's $310 per person. Per person, it doesn't depend on age. So if it's you and your spouse, 620. How many children you have? You calculate it. So now, after that, you also remember that you need your TFE. You book your biometrics for TLS. If you are doing upload of your document by yourself, you don't need to pay any money. You do that for free. I did my own upload by myself. I didn't pay any money. But if they're going to help, TLS is going to help you upload document, you're going to pay some money for it. I think only upload is about 11,000 something. And then there's premium launch, there's VIP services, that's priority visa. You pay higher for those ones. So if you want to use their own services, you may have to budget extra 100 to 150K. Otherwise, you may just pay only 11K to book your biometrics. Now, after that, your flight is also something very, very important. This video should be a short video, so straight to the point. Your flight ticket. Remember, early booking is the key. If you're able to book your flight early, by early I mean 1 month to 6 week interval, you should be able to get a flight ticket between 250K to 500K, depending on the airway you are using. British Airways is expensive, so that would be on the high side. But there are other airways like Virgin Atlanta, there are other airways like Turkish Airway and all that. Those ones can be more affordable. Ethiopian line and all that, they are more affordable. So, but if you are booking your flight later, you may be budgeting about 600K to 1.2 million. If you are booking like few weeks, my dear, British Airways used to run 1.2, 1.3. So that's about flight. So it's always calculate very well and ensure that you may not need to change the date of your flight, because if you're changing your flight date, my dear, you'll be paying more money to change. My dear, abroad journey is very financially demanding, but trust me, at the long run, it's going to be worth it. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is the accommodation. When you come into the UK, especially if you're coming in as a student, you need to budget for the accommodation fee. You may need to book Airbnb. You can go to Airbnb, okay, for to a kind of book a temporary accommodation before you use Zoopla or Rightmove. There's you just type Zoopla or Rightmove. You type them through there. You can search for accommodation so that once you come into the UK, you can start viewing. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. For a temporary accommodation, you may book like a hotel, Airbnb, okay, using Airbnb. But immediately, also in Nigeria, you can also view some accommodation using Rightmove and Zoopla. After viewing those accommodation, you can book a date for viewing. When you come into the UK, go and view those accommodation and rent accommodation. This is very important for people that are maybe coming with family. But if you're not coming with family, you may just do Airbnb at the initial phase, which is what I did for the first 8 days I was in UK. I lodged in using Airbnb. Okay, I lodged in a place I was paying like £28 per night, and I did that for 8 days. Within that 8 days, I was able to book some shared accommodation, which I went for the viewing, selected one, and now moved my property there. So this is just the summary. And for accommodation money, not just like I've said earlier, if I've said in my previous video, if you've not seen the cost of living in my previous video, you can go there. For a shared accommodation, you can get shared accommodation depending on if it's a shared toilet between 300, 350 to £400. You can get the one that has shared toilet and bathroom. But if you're getting en suite, okay, en-suite has toilet and bathroom in that room and you only share kitchen, that one is usually higher. That's the one I'm using. I live in an en-suite apartment and I pay 475. Some get 500. And in the areas of London, depending on the areas of the UK, some say 600. In fact, in areas of London, even shared apartment with shared bathroom and toilet, some people even paid 650, 650, 600, 700 for it. So I don't know if this content has been useful. So this is the estimated cost. So if you calculate all this, you will know the range. I don't want to quote anything to make you scared. But there's one secret I want you to know. If you are still working, you can be doing these expenses one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, okay? One after the other, the money will be coming gradually, but just know that there's a lot ahead of you if you are planning to relocate, and take your savings very, very serious. I don't know if this video has been useful. If it has been, why haven't you subscribed to your girl? Oh yeah, subscribe. Oh yeah, subscribe. Subscribe to me and click the notification bell so that you can always get my video. Thank you for always coming around. Thank you. Bye bye.